Sorry, technical difficulties. Lost and found. It's the blue. It's actually navy blue, like a, yes, no? Anybody? Yes, no? Okay. That's a new glove. With little spangle roll. Pretend I'm Michael Jackson. Okay. Thank you all for coming back. Half of music and joyful merriment for you. Who's next?
Yes. Have you ever noticed the prevalence of bells in Christmas songs? We have. The holiday and the sound of bells, church bells, sleigh bells, street corner bells, just seem to go together. For a cappella groups such as ours, that needs no accompanying instruments. These songs allow us to create imitation bell ringing with our voices. Our next selection is based on a folk song from the Ukraine that was traditionally sung on New Year's Eve. Amazingly, the original Ukrainian lyrics had nothing to do with bells. That was remedied in 1936, when an American composer added the English words that made it a holiday standard. Carol the Bells.
Featuring our tenors.
Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is their song. Big joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound, o'er hill and dale, telling the tale. Ding, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. On they send on without end their joyful tones to every home. Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is their song, with joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound, o'er hill and dale, telling the tale. Ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. On they send on without end their joyful tone to every home. Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Ding dong, ding dong.
This classic Christmas song was written for the 1950 movie The Lemon Drop Kid, starring Bob Hope. The writer's inspiration came from a little bell that sat on his desk. It reminded him of the bell ringers collecting donations for the Salvation Army while the shoppers bustled around the city. The original title for the song was Tinkle Bells, as his tiny bell made a tinkling sound when it rang. When he shared the title with his wife, she encouraged him to consider replacing tinkle to avoid awkwardness with the word's other common usage. So, heeding her wise advice, he changed the title, reworked some of the lyrics, and delivered Silver Bells to the studio.
Busy sidewalks dressed in holiday style. In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, greeting smile after smile. And on every street corner you hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Strings of street lights, even stoplights, flicker bright red. seen, and above all this bustle you hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Oh, silver bells, silver bells, silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Yes, soon it will be Christmas Day. Christmas Day.
Christmas bells met rock and roll in 1957 when a country western singer, Bobby Helms, wrote and performed Jingle Bell Rock. The so-called rockabilly style of that era blended country music with rhythm and blues. With groundbreaking legends like Elvis Presley and Bill Haley, it took American teenagers by storm. You will hear some echoes of Haley's Rock Around the Clock in this barbershop arrangement.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty, frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Come on and giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle in a jingling beat. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle, 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 giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet and jingle around the clock. Tick, tick, tock, tick, tock. Mix and mingle in a jingling beat. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Jing, jing, jingle bell rock. Rock, rock, jingle bell rock.
Santa Claus, St. Nicholas, Father Christmas, Kris Kringle. Whatever name you use, the bringer of Christmas gifts has been the focal point of the holiday for hundreds of years. In the U.S., the image of Santa and his sleigh started with a poem called A Visit from St. Nicholas. It was first published in 1823 in the Troy Sentinel, right down the road. Yay, Troy! Who could have imagined that Troy, New York would give the world both Uncle Sam and Santa Claus? Our next song became a huge hit after it was sung by Eddie Cantor on his radio show in November 1934. In a time before downloads, the song sold 500,000 copies of sheet music and 30,000 records within 24 hours.
You'd better watch out, better not cry, better not pout. I'm telling you why, oh Santa Claus is 'cause here he comes, bringing toys for girls and for boys. He's making a list, checking it twice, gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Oh Santa Claus
pleasure of introducing yet another quartet chorus. They do lots of sing-outs. They sing back time a lot. Please welcome Madcaps.
Bum 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 Mr. Santa, bring us some toys. Bring Merry Christmas to all girls and boys. And every night we'll go to sleep singing and dream about the presents you'll be bringing. Santa, promise us please, give every reindeer a hug and a squeeze. We'll be good as good can be. Mr. Santa, don't forget me. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Santa, we've been so good. We washed the dishes and done what we should. Made up our beds and scrubbed up our toesies. We've used a Kleenex when we've blown our noses. Santa, look at our ears. They're clean as whistles, we're sharper than shears. Now we put you on the spot. Mr. Santa, bring us, please, please, please. Mr. Santa, bring us along. Haul out the holly, put up the tree before my spirit falls again. Fill up the stocking, it may be rushing things, but deck the halls again now, right now. For we need a little Christmas right this very minute. Candles in the window, carols at the spinet. Yes, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. It hasn't snowed a single flurry, but Santa dear, we're in a hurry, so climb down the chimney. Put up the brightest string of lights I've ever seen. Slice off the fruitcake, it's time we hung some tinsel on that evergreen bough right now. For we've grown a little leaner, grown a little colder, grown a little sadder, grown a little older, and I need a little angel sitting on my shoulder. We need a little Christmas right now. Need some Christmas now.
Charles Schultz, the beloved Peanuts characters, made their first TV appearance in 1965 with the holiday special, A Charlie Brown Christmas. The distinctive soundtrack was written by jazz pianist Vince Guaraldi and was performed by his trio. He went on to write the scores for more than a dozen Peanuts specials, but Christmas Time Is Here is the only one with lyrics.
Call
he's just too old to believe in Santa Claus until he rides to the North Pole on the magical train and meets Mr. C himself. Santa gives him a bell that only he and his sister can hear. As the film ends, the narrator says, "At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell, but as years passed, it fell silent for all of them. Although I've grown old, the bell still rings for me, if you truly believe." To me, the lesson from this movie, and I enjoyed it, the message was, believing in things sometimes means believing in things that you cannot see. That could be love, faith, God himself. Seeing is believing in some cases, but most often, believing is just that, believing.
Children sleeping, snow is softly falling, dreams are calling, like bells in the distance. We were dreamers not so long ago, but one by one we all had to grow up. When it seems the magic slipped away, we find ourselves on Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying, hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste, there's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside and give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need if you just believe. Trains move quickly to their journey's end. Destinations are where we begin again. Ships go sailing far across the sea, trusting starlight to get where they need to be. When it seems that we have lost our way, we find ourselves Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying, hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste, there's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside and give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need if you just believe. If you just believe. If you just believe.
I will say that we sort of resuscitated a lot of our Christmas music, and the ladies have done a wonderful job of really switching back and forth, sort of effortlessly between genres. That was, Broadway, and then there's pop music, and there's 1950 jazz, and there's really old Christmas stuff, and they just did such a wonderful job bringing this all together. And we're missing some members, unfortunately, on the risers. I see some of them are out there today. But due to whatever, they couldn't join us today. But I just wanted you all to know that, these ladies all of us have really stuck by this and tried to, they're here every week. I know we're going through a pandemic and all that, but they've really come up to the plate and given you
a really good rendition of all these songs. We're not done yet, but I have one more quartet to introduce, our last one for today. Their name is Intuition, and please give them a nice welcome.
You're all of the world to me, my love. You make everything so fine. Oh, you make my dreams reality, and with you, life is divine, so divine. Well, you say it's only a paper moon, sailing over a cardboard sea, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Yes, it's only a canvas sky hanging over a muslin tree, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played at a penny arcade. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody in a penny arcade. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believe in me. Da 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 da. Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in the hope that St. Nicholas soon would be there. He's bringing lots of toys for girls and boys, and wait until you see that Merry Christmas tree.
Ha ho ho! Ha ho ho! Ha ho!
So on Dasher and Prancer and Vixen and Comet and Cupid on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the roof, to the top of the wall. He's coming to wish Merry Christmas to all.
According to songwriter Mel Torme, this song was composed during a California heat wave in July of 1945. Before air conditioning, it was an effort to stay cool by thinking cool. A year later, the song was recorded by Nat King Cole and became a massive hit. The Christmas song recalls the simple joys of the holiday season. The sound of carols, turkey, mistletoe, flying reindeer, and a Merry Christmas wish for kids of all ages. We've added a few jingle bells. Of course.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, and Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up in winter clothes. Everybody knows a lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle all the way.
Well, it's time to wrap this up. See what I did there? Holiday parties and celebrations traditionally come to an end on New Year's Eve with the singing of Auld Lang Syne. The Scottish word literally translates to old long since, or less literally, for the sake of old times. Please feel free to join us as we sing in remembrance of friends both old and new.
Should